Hello everybody, I'm Zhengyou Zhang, Director of Tencent AI Lab and the Tencent Robotics X Lab. I used to work at Microsoft Research for 20 years, and I have worked in the area of immersive telecommunications for many years. As this is the first edition of the workshop on future video conferencing, I'm really happy to share with you my thoughts in this space and what we have done in the past. Hope our past work lays the foundation and provides some inspiration for your future work, so you can hold many more editions of this workshop in the years to come. Here's the outline of my talk. First, I will talk about the motivations of immersive telecommunications. Then I will talk about the three types of immersion: model-based virtual immersion, non-parametric virtual immersion, and physical immersion. Finally, I will talk about immersive interaction and telecollaboration to get real work done. By immersive telecommunications, we mean people at a distance can interact as if they are face-to-face. This requires that humans can exchange multimodal information across distance, or in our modern term, over the cloud. Multimodal means not only voice and face, but also body languages, such as eye gaze and gestures. In the future, multimodal could include touch, smell, etc. So how do we do that? Through multimodal human-computer interaction. At each end, a computer perceives the human and interacts with the human, and sends and receives the multimodal information from the other end through the cloud. Multimodal information is also known as multimedia. Multimedia needs to be in service of people, and immersive telecommunication can be divided into two areas: multimodal human-computer interaction and human-human remote collaboration. A key technology of multimodal human interaction is human activity understanding, such as audio-visual scene understanding. A key technology of human-human remote collaboration is immersive collaboration. Also, in most cases, we need to create new devices and hardware to achieve our goal of immersive telecommunications. Not very long ago, a family used to stay in the same town for generations. A group of workers used to work on the same floor of a building, sometimes even in the same cubicle. However, with the increasing economic globalization and workforce mobilization, family members are scattered around the world, and team members are geographically distributed, sometimes across continents. How can we develop tools to serve better those distributed team members? Email is probably still the most popular collaboration tool. However, it is very limited. How many of you have had experience that your email message was misunderstood? Telephony is a much richer tool. However, you may be easily disengaged, especially when you are attending a multi-party conferencing call. Have you ever experienced some confusion in such a conference call? With the current conference call system, audio signals of all remote attendees are mixed into a single mono stream. You have to use your brain to do two things simultaneously: identify who is talking and comprehend what is talked about. I'd like to share with you one of my real stories when I was still at MSR in Seattle. Once I had a discussion over phone with some colleagues in China. In the middle, I was wondering why one guy changed his point of view abruptly in a matter of a few minutes. I later realized that it is actually two people, but with very similar voice characteristics. With video chat today, you don't have the eye contact. In a multi-party conferencing, you see a number of talking heads in a box. You don't get a sense of who is talking to whom or who is paying attention. You don't get a sense of sharing the same space. So the Cisco telepresence system, HP's Hello, and others like them use life-sized, high-definition video and audio, and integrated rooms with matching desks and wallpaper in the local and remote rooms to give the illusion that all the participants are in the same room. Is this a real breakthrough in human-to-human communication, or is it just a lot of bandwidth and bigger TVs? I contend that it is both. These systems are the bridge which shows a road from the past to the future. To put this into context, let's look at the different dimensions of communications in our research. The first dimension is space, whether people are co-located, that is face-to-face, or distributed, that is across distance. In the distributed case, you can further distinguish between fixed, such as in our office, or mobile, such as in an airport. The second dimension is time, whether the communication is synchronous, like a phone call, or asynchronous, like a letter or email. There is also something in the middle, such as instant messaging. Instant messaging is near synchronous, and if needed, we can upgrade from instant messaging to synchronous, like phone call. The third dimension is channel, how information is communicated. We have text, audio, video, telepresence, and immersive telepresence. So what is immersive telepresence or immersive telecommunications? For me, it is the experience of interacting with remote people as if they were face-to-face with you. The interaction should be natural, the technology should be invisible, and the message exchanged, including honest signals, should cause minimum cognitive load. The technology should also allow people to maintain social presence and casual contact. Because of immersive experience, we can leverage humans' natural capabilities such as cocktail party effect, gaze awareness, body language, and peripheral vision. In communication, everyone must know the famous Mehrabian rule. The so-called 7%, 38%, 55% rule was derived when Professor Mehrabian at the University of California, Los Angeles conducted a series of experiments dealing with communications of feelings and attitude in the late 60s. He found that 7% of all information conveyed is verbal, or in the words that are spoken. So what you say counts only 7%. 38% is vocal, or in the tone of voice. That is, how you say them is much more important than what you say. 55% is visual, like eye gaze, facial expression, or body language. So the visual aspect counts more than half of the information received by the other side. For effective communication, we have taken many cues for granted in face-to-face meetings. Look at this painting. You see a rich set of facial expression, eye gaze, hand gesture, and body language. They share the same space, and you have spatial audio. Current video conferencing systems cannot convey them. The goal of immersive telecommunications is to provide a face-to-face-like experience for small distributed teams involving high interactivity such as brainstorming and collaborative value creation activities. This, as you will see, is achieved by first capturing high-fidelity spatial 3D at each location, composing them into a global, life-size, geometrically consistent 3D virtual world, and then rendering the virtual world from each user's perspective since their eye location is tracked. This creates the experience that everyone is in the same room. More complex human interactions need more immersion because, going back to the evolution idea, humans have evolved to be social animals. Trust, for example, improves with correct eye gaze, as Guian and Kenny showed in the Berkeley Multiview project. Their system uses view-dependent capture and display, so meeting participants see different videos even when they are on the same side. They achieve correct eye gaze contact. In their study, correct eye gaze improves trust. With Morse testing, mean opinion score from 1 to 5 scale, their directional video system scores 4.388, very close to face-to-face score, which is 4.424. It is much better than current video conferencing system, which only scores 3.56. Now let's look into more details about the eye gaze problem in video conferencing. In one-to-one video conferencing, we look at the remote person displayed on the screen, while the remote person looks at us through the camera. There is an angle of about 16.7 degrees in desktop video conferencing. Studies show that if the divergence angle is larger than 5 degrees, we lose eye contact, so there is no eye contact during desktop video conferencing. In fact, eye gaze correction has been a key goal for many video conferencing systems, and there have been many solutions: half mirrors, putting the camera behind the screen, interpolating views between multiple cameras, and so forth. One of the more interesting approaches is to take the advantage of the Wollaston effect, in which the video from a top camera is combined with just the eyes of the video from a bottom camera to obtain a gaze-corrected image, as you see here. Now, look at the case of multi-party meeting. We have 3 people, A, B, C, sitting around the table. Since we are in the same space, eye gaze, gestures, cocktail party audio, we all take for granted. What we do then when they are in remote locations? With the current video conferencing system, the same video of A is sent to both B and C. That is, B and C see the same video of A. They don't know whether A is looking at B or at C. The eye gaze is lost or mistaken. Now, look at our first solution, an easy solution with multiple cameras called telepresence station. The idea is to use multiple cameras and microphones and speakers on the desktop to bring remote people together around the same table. For each remote participant, we use one screen to display his head, one camera as his eye, one microphone as his ear, and one loudspeaker as his mouth. Here we illustrate the case of 3-party remote meeting. A has 2 screens, one for B, the other for C. Similarly, B and C each have 2 screens. On the left screen of A, we show the video of B, and on the right screen, we show the video of C. The video of A captured by the camera on the left screen is sent to B, and the video of A captured by the camera on the right screen is sent to C. So B and C have different videos of A. When A looks at the left screen, i.e. when A looks at B, person B sees the front view of A and knows A is looking at him. At the same time, C sees a video of the side view of A and knows that A is looking at B. Now we can add the microphones and speakers. As you can see, the left side of person A's desk is the proxy of B, and the right side of person A's desk is the proxy of C. Similarly, for B's desk and for C's desk. Our telepresence station achieves correct eye contact as well as directional sound. Now take a look at the video of my telepresence station in 2007.
Hi, I'm having a meeting with Rajesh and Qin.
So I simply divide my screen into two rather than using two screens.
Yeah, you, Rajesh.
Hi, Zhengyou, how are you?
Good, Rajesh. So it seems Qin is not yet here.
Yes, let's wait for her.
Okay. How is everything doing with you?
Very good. How about you?
Very good.
Great. It looks like she's here.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Chen, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. So,
Hi to you. How are you?
Hey, good.
okay, so the agenda for today's meeting is to review some of the requirements for telepresence system. Chin, Zhengyou and I discussed earlier, and we have noted down a few points here. Let me bring up the OneNote here. So here you go. We have listed some of the key requirements as correct gaze awareness, high quality audio and video, and also perfect audio visual sync. Let's see, Jin, do you have anything else to add here?
I think we better add a special audio and echo cancellation there.
Okay, that's very important. Please go ahead and add it to OneNote over there.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Is there anything else, Zhengyou? How about you? Do you have anything to be added here?
I think we should not forget ease of use. You know, one of the main complaints from the customer, from the video conferencing users, is complexity to set it up.
Yep. Okay. That's very important too. Let's add it to.
Okay, let me add it. Anything else?
Great. I don't have anything else. Chin, how about you? Do you have anything else to be added?
I think it looks good to me.
Okay, great. That sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
So here is a screenshot when remote people look at each other. And here is a screenshot when remote people look at me. The telepresence station is nice, but it has a lot more to desire. It uses multiple cameras, and the required bandwidth is high. We need to go from multiple 2D to full 3D. Microsoft Research and many other research labs and startups are working on developing tele-immersive technologies. I will roughly classify them into two categories. The first is physical immersion, as characterized by the movie Avatar. The second is virtual immersion, as characterized by the movie Matrix. Because of the time limitation, I will not talk about our work on physical tele-immersion. In the remaining of my talk, I will only talk about the virtual tele-immersion. Here is an illustration on how our immersive telepresence works. Three distributed people, A, B, and C, participate in a meeting. We want them to feel like they sit around the same table. To do that, we reconstruct each person in real time in 3D in shape with photorealistic appearance. Then, we compose a virtual world with the three people sitting around the same virtual table. This virtual world is then rendered appropriately on each person's display from their own eyes. When they move, the rendered world changes accordingly, just like when people are face-to-face. The display could be a flat screen, could be a 3D display, could be a head-mounted display. Based on the model we use to represent the people, we have two approaches. The first project is called Avatar Connect, which uses a parametric model. The second project is called the Viewport, which uses a non-parametric model. Avatar Connect uses a Connect sensor to track a person's
Ready for the big
movement
game?
Bring it on.
facial expression,
All right, guys. 5 minutes to
drive
kick off.
a
Let's hear your
parametric
predictions.
virtual
Go.
human.
Tigers by 2 touchdowns.
No way, guys. The Ducks are gonna run all over you.
In your dreams, the Ducks are going down.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
So I loved tonight's episode. What did you guys think?
5 stars. Heather rocks.
Ditto. She's the only reason I watch the show.
Too much drama. 2 stars.
Tough crowd.
Take a look at the technology behind Avatar Connect. On the screen, you see Ron with his Xbox avatar. We use the RGB image and depth information from the Connect sensor to capture facial movement. You can see the 3D mesh we generate from this data and watch it change as Ron moves his head and talks. We track his head as well as his mouth and eyebrow movements and render these on his Xbox avatar.
We hope eventually we'll have a full-body photorealistic parametric model. Now, let's look at our work on virtual immersion with non-parametric representation. One Connect is not enough. It captures a partial view, so we built our own hardware together with a large curved screen. Here's a detailed view of our hardware called the Viewport rig. It has 2 IR projectors, which project random dots. It has 3 IR cameras. The IR cameras can do 3D reconstruction through stereo algorithm. The IR cameras also work with IR projectors to do structured light reconstruction. We also have 3 RGB cameras, which do 3D reconstruction in visible lights. Thus, our Viewport rig has 3 modalities for 3D reconstruction, and we fuse them for more accurate and more complete 3D reconstruction. Here is a video illustrates the process of real-time 3D reconstruction. And here you see the dots and reconstructed sparse point cloud and interpolated dense point cloud. And it can deal with eyeglasses. And we can bring people from different locations together in the virtual world. The system was demoed live in 2012 in Microsoft's internal event called TechFest. Let's take a look.
All right, so what we have here is a real-time 3-dimensional video capture for use in a very natural workplace video conferencing session. Where this camera rig is capturing in 3 dimensions by the 2 IR laser emitters at either end of the Connect, painting your face, the front of your face, and both sides of your face with an IR dot pattern. And then around the rig we have 3 IR cameras picking up that pattern, and triangulated together can recreate a sparse point cloud. As you can see on that monitor over there, you can see what the 3D points might look like. We take that sparse 3-dimensional point cloud and upsample it to a dense point cloud, and then from the dense set of points we map on the RGB texture data and transmit that to all participants in the party for a very high definition, real-time video capture that we can rotate and render on any angle.
With Viewport rig As you saw, the face part is pretty nice, but the hair is extremely hard to reconstruct. So we continue and add more cameras. We use the silhouette information to build an approximate geometry together with view-dependent image-based rendering. Here is what we get in 2013. Here is the booth, and you can see many cameras around the ridge, and you see the reconstruction in real time, and we can spin the reconstruction around, so you can see the hair is very well reconstructed. So you see the hair is now pretty nicely captured, but if you pay more attention, you see that the face, especially the nose, is a little bit flat because we rely on silhouette. So in 2014, we add depth sensor to our system. And here is the result of 3D reconstruction after adding depth sensors. As you can see from the side, the nose pops up. And here we are interested only in the front side. Here is the internal representation of the 3D reconstruction. And in 2016, my colleagues at MSR built an even larger system which can capture the whole body. Two remote people can see each other through HoloLens. On the left side shows a video of the remote side. Finally, let's look at our work on immersive interaction on touch-enabled whiteboard. First, let's look at what experience we can gain if we add vision to a touch-enabled whiteboard. Here is the setup of our system. On the left is the front view, and on the right is the top view. We add a Kinect sensor next to a touch display. From the RGBD sensor Kinect, we can obtain the following cues: position with respect to touchboard, proximity with respect to touchboard, person ID, hand ID, gesture ID, and intention. Combine the RGBD sensor with the touchboard, we can achieve rich interaction beyond the touch. For example, we can bring up a menu without a touch. We can display a menu where you are. We can augment touch with hand ID, person ID, gesture ID, or we can hover on the screen without a touch. We can point to the display. We can auto-lock the display, auto-unlock only with the meeting participants because we have person ID. Here, we show that we can display menu where you are. On the left, the gesture brings up a color palette right at the hand. On the right, the typing gesture brings up a soft keyboard right below the hands. We can identify who you are. For example, on the lower left, two people can just play a game without the need of indicating who plays. We can lock the screen when you are gone and unlock when you are back. but only for you, not for others. We can differentiate whether you are using left or right hand in pointing. The menu can follow you, so you do not need to walk to the menu. So now let's look at system in action.
VTouch is a novel system that uses computer vision to enhance touch interaction on a large, touch-sensitive display. Thanks to a Kinect pointed across the display, VTouch can understand where the user is, who the user is, and what the user is doing even before the user touches the display. Gestures, such as an open palm, may bring up a color palette, from which the left hand may select erase, the pen may select green, and the right hand may select red. These selections are remembered. Erase with the left hand, write green with the pen, and write red with the right hand. Another gesture, a pair of high fives, opens a keyboard, making it easy to enter text anywhere on the screen. Hovering over the text brings up a menu of attributes, which may be selected to change the color or size of the text. Different users can also be distinguished using vision. Another user may select his own color and stroke width. When the first user returns, his settings are remembered. The strokes and text are tagged as belonging to user 1 or user 2. VTouch knows the user's location. Not only can it bring up a menu near the user, but it can keep the menu near the user, so he does not have to hike back to the far end of a large display. Pointing, for interaction when the user is away from the board, is also possible. Pointer gesture detection is robust against other gestures. The right hand is distinguished from the left. Selection is also possible. VTouch requires the Kinect to be calibrated with the display, but calibration is easy, simply by touching 4 points on the board. VTouch uses vision to enhance touch by detecting gestures whether far or near to the screen, distinguishing between hands when they touch the screen, restoring hover to touch screens, distinguishing between users, and tracking their positions. VTouch, vision-enhanced interaction for large touch displays.
Now I will describe our Immersive board system, which shows how computer vision can enhance remote interaction. When we are face-to-face doing co-located collaboration on a whiteboard, we share the same space and have access to information of other collaborators, such as face, eye gaze, gestures, proximity. Content creation is natural and efficient. That's why we still love whiteboard for collaboration. However, when we are remote, with current systems, we only see other people's faces, and only the created content is shown. We don't know where the other person's attention is, where the other person is about to write, etc. The important information of the process of content creation is lost. Our system intends to enrich remote collaboration by providing information of eye gaze, gestures, proximity, as well as the process of content creation. Our goal is to build a remote collaboration system as if people were writing on a physical whiteboard side by side. They see the reference point, feel that they share the same space, are aware of gaze, and can predict others' intention. we provide 3 modes of operation. Picture A shows the system setup. Picture B shows a hybrid mode, which is almost the same as the current 2D video mode, but the hands can reach into the content area. Picture C shows the mirror mode, as if the remote person is writing on the other side of the display. Picture D shows the tilt board mode, as if 2 people writing side by side, but from a tilt angle view. Now, let's take a look at the system in action.
It is a system for remote collaboration through an electronic whiteboard with immersive forms of video. Thanks to a Kinect camera mounted on the side of a large touch display, we augment shared writing with important social cues, almost as if participants were in the same room. This 2.5D hybrid between standard 2D video and full 3D immersion shows the remote participant's 2D video on the side, but his hand is able to extend out of the video frame in a non-physical way to write or to point to a place on the shared writing surface. This visualization shows the remote participant in full 3D, as if the participants were standing shoulder to shoulder in front of a physical whiteboard. Eye gaze direction is improved, as well as gesture direction, body proximity, and overall sense of presence. The participants are able to look at each other to check for understanding. Finally, this visualization shows the remote participant in 3D as if reflected in a mirror on which the participants are writing. Eye contact and gaze direction are further improved, as well as overall sense of presence. ImmerseBoard makes remote collaboration almost as good as being there. Natural remote collaboration.
To conclude, because of the concerns of climate, energy, and the environment, because of the desire to reduce travels, and because of loss of productivity due to pandemic, immersive telepresence is in strong need. And I have shown that 3D computer vision is a key enabling technology. Recent significant technology advancements makes immersive telepresence within reach. Hardware is almost ready. We have 3D capture, we have 3D displays, we have spatial audio capture and surround sound systems. Software technologies such as vision, graphics, signal processing are maturing. This presents a unique opportunity for us, researchers and practitioners. We can perfecting component technologies, or we can engage multidisciplinary activities. We may be able to build a telecommunication system better than face-to-face meetings. For example, we can integrate the virtual objects. I want to acknowledge that the work I just presented was done jointly with many colleagues at Microsoft Research. Without them, nothing I can accomplish. I really appreciate their work and have enjoyed working with them. Thank you for your attention and wish the future video conferencing workshop has a bright future.